Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with How Many Omens by GDC. So we have normal 6x6 Sudoku rules, meaning in each row, each column, and each 2x3 box, we are placing the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each. We also have these arrows in the grid. The digit in the arrow counts how many odd digits it points at. So if this was, say, 3, 5, 2, 1, we look at this arrow, it's pointing at all 4 cells, and it counts 1, 2, 3 odds. And so a 3 would go here. It doesn't count itself or whatever's behind it, just what it points at. So this would be one way that this would get fulfilled. And that's it. Those are the rules. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself. And I'm going to get started right now. So I think probably an opening to this is just to pencil every arrow, because an arrow can only be as big as the number of cells it points at. Because if it's counting the number of odds, the best case scenario for it is all of them are odd. So this is 1 or 2 because it only sees 2 cells. Naively, it's 1 through 4, but if you think about it, the column can only have 3 odds in it. So since this points at a column where you can't repeat, it actually maxes at 4. Actually, thinking about it, it can't be 3 either. If it was a 3, it's telling us that there are 3 odds up here, but 3 is already one of the odds that we have available. So we'd only be able to put 1 and 5 up here, so it wouldn't work. So this is actually 1, 2 pair. This sees 4. So it's normally 1, 2, 3, 4, but it sees a 1, 2 pair, so it's only 3 or 4. This sees up to 4. I'm just going to put 1 through 4 in it. This sees up to 2, 1 or 2. And this sees up to 3, but it also sees a 1, 2 pair, so it actually must be 3. And that sounds like it's getting us started, because all of these are odd. All right. That was a really nice opener. Let's see what we can do with it. If this was a 4, these would all be odd. Make this a 1. You know what? It doesn't... Wait, does it work? It might work. I don't know. I don't really want to do a look ahead like that if there's something easier to do. 1, 2 pairs. So these are 4, 5, 6. All right, let's look at this arrow, 1 or 2. Okay, so let's think about the 2 possibilities. If this is a 1, it is odd. And so if this is 1, it is odd. That uses up the odds for the box. I'm just showing you this, what I saw in my head. Makes this odd, so it sees 1. So that's one option. The other option is it's a 2, which is even, but it forces both of these to be odd. So no matter what, this is odd, and also the odd is here or here in this box. You see how that works? So if this is 1, this is the odd. If it's 2, this is the odd. So these are both even, and this is always odd. That's not 5 now. Put the 5 over here. That was pretty neat. So this is 1 or 5, just because it's not 3. We already have 2 odds in this row. Maybe I should think about, let's see, this is 1 or 2. If it was 2, these would both be odd. That seems okay. There's kind of a chain here. I don't know what to do with that. Maybe I should think about this one a little bit more, or this one. 3 or 4. If it was 4, these would all be odd. I do think that works out, though. 3, we don't know. We just have 1 even. Okay. Let's think about this some more. Yeah, this is telling us that we have exactly 2 odds in these cells. Right? There's no way we have 3 odds in these cells. Because if this is odd, it's a 1, telling us that this is the only other odd we've got. These would all be even. Otherwise, it's a 2, which makes it even, but still there's only 2 odds up here. So there's always 2 odds in these cells, meaning the 3rd odd is here. And it's not a 1, so it's 3 or 5. And then that's all the odds for the column, because the 1, 2 pair has the 1 in it. That's one of the odds. And then we have 2 odds here. So these are even. And that makes this a 4, which makes all of these odd, which makes this a 1, which makes this even. That's a 5. This is 1 or 3. This is the 2 and the 1. So 2 is even, and it makes both of these odd. This is odd. That does work. This is 3 or 5. Let's see, what's our kind of easy next step here? This is the 6. Places the 6 here. These are not 6s. 4, 5 pair means that this is a 1, 3. It is odd. That's not a 4. Well, this already sees 2 odds, so it can't be a 1. So it has to be the 2. And then these both have to be even in order for the 2 to be correct. And that makes that 4 and 5. 5 is odd. Right, this box already has all its odds. This box has all its odds. This column has all its odds. This box has all its evens. This column needs an even. And then this row needs an odd, and this row needs an even. There we go. We've completely colored. And are there any arrows we haven't thought about yet? I don't... This arrow, this arrow, this arrow. Okay, all the arrows are filled. Just Sudoku. Okay. So this, I'm just going to do the odds first. So let's see. Where's our in? This is 3. That makes that 5 and 3. This sees 1 and 3, so it's 5. So that makes that 1. This sees 1 and 3, so that's 5 and 3. That's 1. Over here, we need 1 and 5. This 5 tells us that's 1, that's 5, that's 3, that's 1, that's 3. Now we solve the Sudoku on the evens. 2, 6. So this is 6. This is 4. So that's 2. Makes that, because this is 6, that's 4 and 6. That places the 6 here, which places the 6 here. That's 2, that's 4, that's 2. Up here, we need a 4 and a 2, and we're done. All right, cool puzzle, GDC. That actually flowed really nicely. I think it, there wasn't a whole lot to think about, so it encouraged you to dive into each arrow to make sure you got everything out of it. And this arrow here was the most interesting for sure. The more I thought about it, the more it kind of whittled things down. That was neat. All right, well, let me know how you did. And if you enjoyed this, why don't leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.